All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jamie Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with Popish and Bryan to talk about our next book club book and give you all the details on when we're meeting. And so I'm going to hand it over to you guys right away. And we are reading this month, The Courage to be Disliked. So let's talk about what that book is and why we chose it.
Well, so first I would ask, have either of you started reading it or finished it yet?
I haven't finished it. I actually started reading this book probably about a year ago and got about halfway, and then I got distracted and didn't finish it. So I got to pick it back up.
How about you, Bryan?
I just started it. I'm not very far in.
This book reminds me a lot of Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, if you guys have read that. And the reason I say it, it's the format is pretty close, where it's kind of like a conversation. I think it might sound better if you listen to it, maybe more so than reading it. But I think the overall premise is one that I wouldn't mind diving further into, maybe in some other books as we go on with the Adlerian psychology method, more so than like the Freudian, to where, you're responsible for your station in life. Your past is your past, and it's not something that you should dwell on or assume that that's what shapes you today. And so I think that the message is pretty good, but I'm about, I don't know, I'd probably say I'm about 2/3 of the way through it.
Yeah, when I started this book, I can't remember who, I think I heard about it on a podcast, actually. And you're probably reading it, like the paper copy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Bryan, you probably are too, or are you listening?
I'm doing the audio.
Yeah, I also was doing the audio, and so it's like a dialogue, which is kind of cool to have those different voices in the book.
Yeah.
And this one kind of came out of, I think there was a couple people when we did our Bring Your Own book. I don't know that anybody read it specifically for that meeting, but there was a couple people that brought it up as part of that discussion. So I think that's kind of where the direction to do it this month came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead, Brett. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think the reason I started reading this book is I tend to be a people pleaser, and so I need that encouragement or that motivation to not always have to, make everyone happy.
Yeah. And I think too, like in all of it, in what each of us does, and really what a lot of the folks in the book club do, there's an element of sales or, marketing yourself and that kind of thing, putting yourself out there in a way that you might be, turned down or refuted or whatever. So I think, reminders like this are important, just that, you're not everybody's cup of tea, but you'll be the right thing for the right people.
Yeah. Well, so like I say, I mean, I'm about maybe about 2/3 of the way through, maybe not as much as that. And so far the title hasn't lived up to what the book is about. It's kind of interesting to me, because I think the message of the book, and as you get further into it, it's more about not blaming others for your station in life, and understanding that, your station, the relationships you have, all that sort of stuff is simply because of your decisions, not because it was some predetermined destiny that's what you were destined to be or destined to do based on how you grew up and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm interested to see how they tie the actual title of the book into the book itself, because so far they haven't.
Yeah, it is kind of strange that it is, I don't know what's going on with the blur thing, but it is kind of strange. I'm like a ghost. It is kind of strange that it's kind of billed as, this ancient Japanese phenomenon, but it's based on Western psychology, relatively modern Western psychology. Mm-hmm. So it is a little bit, I'm not very far in, but it is a little bit different than what I was expecting it to be based on how it was marketed.
Yeah. How do you think that it will help people, the people that are going to come read this and come chat with us about it? How do you think people can apply it to their professional lives?
Well, so far, I mean, I look at it as it kind of gets you to think a little bit different of a way to where you can get out of your own way. You know, I think we all have a story we tell ourselves about why we're successful, why we're not successful, why we have friends, why we don't have friends, all that sort of stuff. And what I'm picking up so far from the book, it's like, you know, you can tell yourself all those stories, but at the end of the day, it's the decisions you make that determines where you're at today. It's nobody else's fault. It's not how you were treated as a child. It's not any of that. It's a matter of, you know, your will to make your life whatever you want it to be, right? So if you're unhappy, what sort of will do you have to make yourself happy, whatever that happiness might look like to you? And obviously that'll be different for everybody. And I think what it comes down to, which is seemingly a central theme in everything we read, it comes down to personal responsibility. You know, if we look at Extreme Ownership and some of those other books that are our favorites, right? It comes down to your personal responsibility, taking responsibility and taking control over the things that you can control and leaning into those positives to make it benefit you rather than viewing your traits, your personality, what have you, as a negative.
Yeah. I think I read a lot of books that are kind of based in psychology. I think it's helpful just to read books like this that kind of ask the why, or force you to ask the why, like, why do I do the things that I do, or why do other people do the things that they do, and kind of examine where your premises and where you're rooted, you know, and why you accept the things or not in your life. And so I think it'll be a good discussion just to kind of hear people's reactions, just even early in the book, just kind of, you know, how they're interpreting, you know, the kind of the things that are baked into who they are today, and how they might work to improve those things or change those things to create better outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're back on track, right? This month, we're meeting on the 4th Tuesday. So we're meeting January 27th at Kokopelli Beer Company. And so we hope that you'll join us there. Do you guys have anything else you want to add before we jump off here?
The only thing I would add is, you know, if you haven't come to book club yet and you're unsure, come. You know, we have a good group of people. We do have a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, we're talking about books. Sometimes it's boring books, but I think the combination of the three of us plus everybody else makes it a little lively of a discussion. And what's really cool about book club, for those that haven't come, is you get to know everybody there on a more personal level. Mm-hmm. It's not just business. I mean, obviously we're all business people. We're part of the chamber, but this is a chance and opportunity to get to know each other on a more personal level, and really kind of determine, you know, what makes each of us tick. So those conversations are actually pretty valuable.
Yeah, for sure. And if you set a goal for the year to either read more or do some professional development or just get out and network more, this is a great opportunity to do all three of those things.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Awesome. Well, we hope to see you all January 27th, 4 p.m., Kokopelli Beer Company. The Courage to Be Disliked. And we'll have a good conversation and a lot of fun. So
cool. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Happy New Year, guys.
You too.
You too. Yeah.
Bye.